kicking in.
Okay, I think it should be working properly now. It might have been a little weird at first.
Okay. All right, guys, welcome back. It is David here. We are on the CEG podcast. For this Tuesday, I have no idea what the day. Oh, it's the 15th. We had to send out a few checks, so that would be the 15th. So this is going to be a very informative show. Those of you who are interested in resort amenities, we got our list of the best, the worst, and we're going to be throwing some truth out there. A little bit of shade, but a lot of good stuff. This is Vegas after all, and we become a destination for more than gambling. So if you're looking to get a massage, a really, really happy massage. Yeah, we used to. Anyways, is there anybody there? Am I talking to myself? All right, good. So this should be useful. This is going to be useful information. We're going to look back. Maybe this list is upgraded here soon, and we've got a special category as well. Yeah, God's Waiting Room. Yeah, we have God's Waiting Room here in Las Vegas, just so you know, and we're going to tell you where it's at, so maybe you can visit when it's time. I'm just saying. All right. I do have to tell you that after, right before we get to the festivities, we have a fantastic event coming to you November 18th. We have John from Pro Craps, and it's going to be Cancer for the Cure. I'm sitting here with two cups. One's coffee and one's ghost. That's right. I just thought I wasn't wearing enough for logos. We thought we'd roll these out. These cups are only available here at the store, just so you know, because we had the worst luck mailing these out, and so yeah, we only have them here because we're terrible shippers. We can ship the good, like the stuff the hard stuff. But anyways, all right. So November 18th here, we're gonna be live streaming, like literally right from here. We have a dedicated space that's set up at the back of Casino Quest, and we're gonna have a whole bunch of alumni and fans and content creators from throughout the craps community. I say craps throughout gaming community, really, but of course, as you know, we have a big craps roulette audience, that kind of thing. So John's going to be hosting that, and it's literally every single cent is going directly to charity. I mean, every single cent. We're coming out of pocket. We're buying our own food, buying our own everything else. Every single cent that you guys contribute is going to go to charity. During the event, we're going to have a charity link, so you can just hit it, go straight to that. Now, but right now, you can pay. You can go to our website. We have a link directly to John's site that he set up just for this event, and you can buy tickets whether or not you're going to attend. By the way, Paul, thank you so much. We already had a few people buying tickets and not even attending. They're just buying their own ghost tickets. They're going to be here in spirit. It's a fantastic cause. So we hope you guys tune in on the 18th, and we're going to be posting something in the community tab now that we're a little closer. So, all right, I did want to reach out before we get to all the good stuff and let you know it's a fantastic time to be a dealer right now. It's so fantastic. There are so many casinos in need of dealers that one of the casinos closed their pit. You know, it's funny because not too long ago they were telling us how many customers they had, and they didn't need our help, and now, of course, they have no pit to work with. It's interesting. For as long as I'm alive, this story I'm going to rebirth. If you happen to be a Patreon of ours, you already know this story. But the basic gist of it is we were trying to drive business to a casino here, and it may or may not rhyme with Tropicana. It could rhyme with Tropicana. It might not rhyme with Tropicana. It could be some other casino, right, Dennis?
Yeah, 100%.
It could be.
You never know.
The GM literally told us, listen, you know, he got a little aggravated that we weren't more familiar with like where and how we were gonna. We were just there in a supportive capacity. We were like that dog that some people bring with them to the movie theater.
Well, this is a little long-winded, but I have a super chat by Alan Toy, who's literally in the store.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
like 10 feet away. Dude.
It says, hi, Grandpa David.
Oh,
1-2 Keno hand pays at Plaza 7 out of 9 on the same machine within 5 hours of each other.
And he left out the part about it with my numbers. They're my numbers. I should license these numbers. It's that 9 spot we play. I hit them last night for 8 out of 9, dude. They're fantastic numbers. It's the secret sauce. All right. Anyways, back to my little, because we're talking about resort amenities, and this casino literally does not have a pit. Now, it's been purchased by some new owners, so we're expecting really big things and some big announcements coming soon. I think through the grapevine, we have some insider news, but we can't really share it. We may do a story episode. The very next podcast may be all stories. I think it's going to be mostly stories. And I'm going to give like the most wily sort of undercurrent stories I have. Might even have a guest with me. Who knows? And this is one of those, man. Anyways, just so you know, if you go to the Tropicana, they don't have a casino pit anymore. There's no... There's just, so demand for dealers is through the roof. If you want to be a dealer, there's literally hundreds and hundreds of jobs. Everyone's getting hired. You don't even, in many cases, you don't even have to break in anymore. You can kind of skip the break-in level, go right to a higher level casino. It's really tremendous. Poker dealers as well. Poker dealer thing is going to be ramping up here in the new year, so we're expecting to fill that class. We've graduated, 100 poker dealers in the last 6 months, so. And most of them are employed, if they wanted to be employed, that kind of thing. All right, let's move on. Resort amenities. It's going to be a lot of fun, by the way, because this is the good stuff. And David's got some, I will say this isn't going to be all fun and favors, because this is where I start to roll my eyes a lot when I read the amenities, because I know there are some places that really knock it out of the park that are very focused on becoming an other attraction. Or having things to really appease. And then there are places, let's face it, that the amenities kind of an afterthought. It's really, in many cases, it's a cash grab. You're too lazy to leave the casino, and so they give you this. And we'll get to those. We have those lists. All right. So here's the list of what we think are the amenities that we're going to talk. Well, what we're going to talk about today. I left out entertainment venues because it's just so hard. It's an arena. If you're going to go see Celine Dion or whatever else, it's really about the entertainer. I know the venue plays a role. I would say that back when Hard Rock was a thing, where Virgin is now, they had the, what was it? I forget. They had a theater there. It was really just fantastic. Many times, the acoustics were great. I will say this. Here in Las Vegas, if you ever have a chance to go to the Smith Center, literally the Smith Center, downtown, do that. Go to a show, go to the Smith Center. If you have someone who's performing in the Smith Center, and I will tell you, you have to look this up, but they spent outrageous sums of money building this and literally going around the world and recruiting the best people when it came to acoustics and bouncing this sound off the wall. A really big sound nerd tried to explain this to me, and to be honest with you, all I know is I finally was convinced to go to a venue there, and I have to tell you, it was literally fantastic. Maybe the seating could have been a little more comfortably, but sound is so tremendous. In fact, the sound there is so good that all these sort of, bands and orchestras, they film a lot. They record a lot of their stuff there. They literally try to book the Smith Center to film their stuff, or to, again, record their stuff, because the sound is really, really tremendous. So if you ever do have a chance, go to the Smith Center. It's absolutely 100% worth it. Of course, and the prices are cheap relative to literally everything else. You know what I forgot to add? The Peppermill. Holy crap, I know I got a little distracted. Okay, so here's our list. Here's our amenity list, and it comes down to pools, spas. You know what? Can you do the view? Because you're just here. I'm going to do the slideshow. You see? Can you do the slideshow instead? I spilled on my desk, bro. Can you do the slideshow instead of the boxes? We're like an amateur hour here at the CEG. It's always amateur hour, just so you know, okay? If we weren't amateurs, I don't think we'd have a channel. To be honest, if it was too professional, we'd be in the annals of nothing. Okay, are you ready?
Ready.
All right. So it's so the pools, spas, food, shopping, theaters, depending upon how you spell theaters, and then there's God's waiting room. We're going to get to God's waiting room at the very end. We're going to do God's waiting room. Hang tight for that one. All right, so those are the favorite features. We're going to move on to the next slide. It's just view. It doesn't let you do that. All right, here we go. All right, so first is pools. Pools are a tremendous experience out here, by the way. Man, pools have evolved on a whole nother level. So it used to be on MTV, those of us a little older, different generation, we watched MTV down there at the Hard Rock. They had Rehab. and it was fantastic. And they had this whole pool scene, and they filmed it, and people were throwing up everywhere and pissing everywhere. But it looked like a good time, especially if you're at home and not in the pool. And you know, they had you know, a lot of celebrities, and you hear stories, and you would see another thing, and it was fantastic. And that was really sort of the advent of, you know, popularized this whole nother level of, you know, the pool, I guess. I worked at the Rio at a time, and the Rio, interestingly, had this, the first one I saw, but I guess that there was already one at the Tropicana. But from my understanding, it was the beach, you know, where they literally had sand. You literally felt like you're on the beach, and, you know, minus a surfboard, you could just walk down, and there was a pool. It wasn't like a normal pool where you got like cement. It was literally beach and sand. And so I know a lot of pools now have that kind of feature. Mandalay Bay, for example, and a few others. And then they've added, some pools even have the sort of resistance where you can swim into it. You can they actually have little things that you can have. But I will tell you, amazingly, the original big pool area, you wouldn't believe it now, was the Tropicana. They had this massive lagoon complex, and they were famous for you can get lost in the pool complex. It was this huge area. And, you know, way long ago, they had a floating craps table, and then they had literally a floating craps table in the middle of the pool. Then they had these blackjack tables, things like this. But anyways, let's get to the slide. All right, so without a doubt, I believe in terms of everything, the Encore Beach Club, it has a day club and night club. It's an over 21, so it's adults only because there's drinking. You know, people are like, well, you could show your ID. How many of us carry our ID in our bathroom? You know what I mean? So they've made it adult only, which sounds right. You know, that way no one gets in trouble. Now, it's a little high end. You got to come with your nicest shorts for this one, all right? Those of you that like to swim in your underwear, that's not an option. You got to, like, you know, maybe a name brand thing, or maybe not a name brand. Maybe just get a marker and put the name brand on it. I don't know. I don't know what they mean by like high-end attire. I guess they do have like a dress code. What could the dress code? I don't know, like a thong with, you know, how much of a thong do you need? I'm not really sure. Huh, Dennis? Anyways, he's going to do that. Every now and then we'll pan to him rolling his eyes at the old boomer. But anyways, I don't understand how much, I mean, what do? They just look at you up and down, and they're like, you know what? You're not going to fit into our decor.
I'm guessing the tire is like you can't just wear a thong, you know, like a
Oh,
like
really? I would think they want thongs. The more thongs, the better.
Like, you know, like you can't wear like the stream bikini type of thing.
I know. I would think they want string bikinis, dude. That's the thing.
But I think it's just so, you know.
It's just it really kind of matters the body. You know what I'm saying? It really matters who's wearing the string bikini, because I'm guessing if the right person's wearing it, they're like, right through. Thank you very much for showing up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's part of the attraction. No, you know what I mean? Anyways, so here's what I like about this club. This club, it's a bit foofy. It's a bit expensive. But if you're younger and you like some really great entertainment, they have some really good DJs. Always the evening club converts to you know, some of the hottest DJs on the planet. I've always it's not cheap. Each cabana has the opportunity to have its own server, and you're required to order a certain amount of food, and when you call in and ask about the rates, by the way, the rates actually will change. So there's an entrance fee. You don't actually have to have a reservation. You can come to the club, make that a destination if they have room, and then it's not cheap. It's very expensive. If you get a cabana, there's a food. You're required food and drink minimum, which can be a lot. But again, if you're looking for this kind of crowd, and you're not looking for it to be too congested, you want to really relax. It's everyone says it's a fantastic club, both during the day and at night. Now at night, in the evening, on the weekends, obviously, when these popular DJs comes, it can fill up. You might want to call ahead, make reservations, this kind of thing. And if you do have the resources, you might want to reserve the day bed or a cabana. All right. So the next one, this is my favorite pool, by the way. Again, you don't have to have a reservation. You don't have to be a hotel guest. You can actually just show up and just pay. And honestly, you don't really need, you might want a day bed, but the loungers are just fine. And the Cosmo Marquee Day Club, and it can, on Fridays and Saturdays, converts to a nightclub. They were showing movies out here for a minute. Now, the reason why I like this club is I love the way that this club is built, and the way that this pool is built, And each of these terraces are just slightly elevated and sort of, wrap around. You can't see this whole thing. It's much more interesting than this. It promotes sort of social interaction. So even if you're someone that's older, there's a lot of young people that are here. I would say like the 25 to 30 range. But even if you're a little older, it's really a good place to hang out and spend the day. I've had some very fortunate experiences there. I've really, it's a wonderful club. At night they were showing movies at some point. They had sort of this theme thing. Again, if you're going to eat and you want to reserve more than just the day bed, it gets a little pricey, but it's really a great interactive club. Now, the worst club used to be the worst pool, I should say. Used to be the best pool is the Tropicana, and that seems to be a common theme. Wait for it. It seems to be a common theme. The Tropicana needs to be just rebuilt. The great thing about dishing on the Tropicana is I'm almost 100% sure the new owners are going to be looking at redoing this. This is this sad casino hotel / pool complex is not long for this world. Needs a lot of work, needs a lot of investment. Apparently not enough customers have validated that. But hey, who am I? What do I know? I don't know anything. Anyways, Tropicana pioneered the Laguna pool. Without any doubt, it was the biggest pool complex. If you go there now, a couple of years ago, I ran into like one of the cabana spaces. It used to be like this little wood fort set off in the pool. It was kind of nice because the cabana, you could actually reserve these cabanas. They weren't so close to the pool. They're a little bit out of the, a little bit away, and they're, big square wooden like sheds kind of thing, and spend the day, really enjoy yourself. Like, you could reserve that and go play and come back and really make that your sort of outdoor fun destination. And now when I saw it, it was like boarded up. I mean, it needs a lot of work, man. I mean, this poor sad lady here in this picture, you can't see it. She's wondering where the rest of the people are. Nobody's coming, honey. I mean, I don't even think when we were there, they were having issues with landscaping, getting people to actually cut the grass. You know what I mean? These things happen, dude. These things happen, especially when you're getting so much business. All right.
Well, here we got two more super chats.
Oh, fantastic.
We have D1 Keys gave us $1.99. Says, is Vegas having blackjack tables where dealers pushes on 22?
Where dealers push, yeah. So there's a side bet where they do have a push on 22. We saw that. Well, we saw that at G2E. I'm not sure if that's live. But that's definitely, there's so many different variations of blackjack now. It's incredible. It really is. I would say my advice always is if it's a networked, if it's a progressive and it's a cheap progressive that you can buy into, let's say $1, you're not having to put like $5 or make this otherworldly investment. If they have a major minor that doesn't seem like a whole lot of money, isn't life changing, those aren't things that I bet. I know we had some friends of ours recently who were playing the Pai Gow progressive, I think at Caesars or wherever that it was due to hit, or hadn't hit in a while. I mean, that's something I can buy into without a doubt. Throw $1, make it,
no, it was $5.
$5? Oh, it was $5. But millions of bucks, right? How much was it?
It was a $5
like $3 million, right?
Oh, yeah, it was like $3 million.
I mean, something like that, what are you going to do? I mean, a push on 22, that's not the worst thing. I would love to run down what the theoretical win on that one is, and how that breaks down. But I mean, they should post all these win-loss. They should post all these edges and give it. Actually, Wizard of Odds, I think Wizard of Odds has a lot of these games on there, right? So I would look there.
I'm not sure, but we have another super chat.
Thank you.
$10 from VA Crap Shooters. Mm-hmm. Says, not enough fillers in all of Vegas for me to get in one of those piss-filled pools. Just being truthful.
We were gonna get there. Yeah. Good for you, sir. I was going to have the slide on Circus Circus. So if you're here with your family, well, that's actually a really good point, to be honest with you. And we were going to address it. So they did go through and test the water quality. One of these newspapers came out and said, hey, let's grab some samples. And some of these pools had a little too much fecal matter for anybody's likes. And one of them, was really, one of them was crystal clear, no fecal matter, go figure. All I would tell you is if you're in a pool and you see a lot of young kids, or for that matter, really just older puking kids, those are pools to avoid. Me personally, I don't do a whole lot of swimming. I like the socializing and hanging out around the pool. But you're very correct. Like that circus pool, I mean, there's so much chlorine in that pool. It's not good. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I personally stay out of the pool, to be honest with you, because it's a thing. All right. What else you got? That's it? Okay. Next up, we have, I think the picture alone is so fantastic. And you know what's interesting? This casino it really just sort of stands out in so many ways. You almost have to wonder. When Dennis went in there for the first time, he was really shooketh. He loved the fact of how much went into, the design, all the, the accessory. I mean, it's really a different. When you walk into this hotel, you absolutely feel something different. Someone really invested the time and energy. This is not a place that was dialed in. Even when it comes to like the curtains and the texture, it's really fantastic. But here you go. There's the next slide. So we're gonna get to the spas, and here is what was the first 5-star rated spa that ever was, and this is the Wynn spa. And it is, I say just look, because look at it, dude. Who doesn't want to be sitting in there, dude? Good stuff is coming from whatever the hell that is. That's some good stuff right there. And when you come out to Vegas, you want the whole experience. I mean, that's the experience. I mean, even if nothing goes on, you just sort of walk in, lay down, take a picture. That's almost worth whatever the hell they're going to charge you. But they interesting, like they have a good luck ritual, because of course you have to have a good luck ritual if you're coming to Vegas, right? Which is a mix of like I guess Chinese herbs and aromatherapy, and of course let's not forget the gym. The gym. I always wonder how many people literally pay for the spa and actually go to the gym that's in the spa. And they have some some of these places have some amazing equipment, but who pays $180 to work out for 2 hours? You know what I'm saying? I suppose if you're staying at the Wynn, you catch a good hand. Now you got the money to, but man, I just want to lay down on one of those chairs and just take a picture. But all right, the next one that I love. So let me just say, Vdara has a fantastic spa. I mean, believe me not. I mean, I've heard a lot of great things. A lot of spas are missing. Casinos have gone all in the spas, but not all are the same. So Vdara, Venetian has a great spa. There's a lot of really good spas, and it's hard to really capture them all. But the next one that I love, and because it's a very themed, who doesn't want to believe that they were back in the Roman times, maybe taking a bath on their way to the yoga party? You know what I'm saying? You know yoga parties, dude? Oh, not yoga parties, toga parties. Yoga parties.
Toga.
Can you imagine everybody doing yoga poses, having a party? No, the toga parties, I mean, straight up orgies, those, right? Romans, straight up orgies? I think so.
Oh my God.
But this is where they started. They had to get cleaned up. You know what I mean? And this is like how to feel like a Roman emperor while you're out here. I mean, the great thing about Caesars is they've kept with that. It'll probably be one of the last themed casinos besides, of course, the Luxor. Hard to redo the whole building. They've tried to move away from the whole Egyptian theme, but you still got the pyramid working for you. Maybe there'll be an Aztec pyramid next, because those are bigger. You know what I mean? The Aztecs. But besides circus, but look at you want to be a Roman and just, get all chiseled and, get worked out in that place. Again, really highly rated pool. It's supposedly great for couples. I don't know what spa is not good for couples, but they say this one is, I haven't been to this spa. I haven't been to the Wynn spa either. I'm really, as far as the spa goes, I'm giving you lots of feedback on, just having lived here and, been around people who like the spa. But I actually know, I have a friend of mine that does a spa. That's one of the spas at the Venetian. We had a dealer that used to work down there and just do the massages. But okay, the next spa, and you listen here. No one thinks of this place and goes, spa. That's where I'm going to do that. Unless you're literally just stuck like a pig and you're out of money, but you really need to soak your feet or something. Show them the next spa. By the way, these pictures literally just, there's not a lot that needs to be said. That's the spa. We just saw the Wynn spa, and now we see this spa. And you know what I mean? I suppose for couples, That would be nice because you could probably put those two seats together, lock the doors, you know what I mean? And then you'll wash off in the hot tub there. You follow? You see that? You see where we go with that?
Yeah,
I don't know what that side door is. That side door is probably the exit. You know what I mean? Maybe like, where you get disinfected on the way back to the hotel. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of a little depressing. I hate to say that, but yeah, there's no way in hell if I'm gonna be out here, I'm gonna go to the spot Excalibur. It doesn't even sound right. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? You go home and tell your friends, oh yeah, I went to the spot Excalibur. Now Excalibur is great for other things, like the joust and the medieval times. That whole thing. That's fantastic. And I mean, that sounds right, Excalibur. But there you go. All right. Well. All right, here's where it gets interesting. Now, I consulted our good friend Alex, and we talked to a few people that we know. And of course, if you don't already know, me and Dennis have turned into bougie foodie people. He has, dude. He went straight from Taco Bell to Tacos El Gordo. No, he doesn't like Taco Bell. I know. I knew that the eye rolling was coming. We, we have a little budget. We like to eat out. I believe it or not, I have this Google thing. I'm like this high-level Google guy. Shh, it's anonymous. But I'm up to like 14 million views. Because I like to take pictures and show everybody, and I rant and rave. But anyways, so we have our own list and we've compiled this with as many people as we know or we feel. And we'll give you some feedback. I'll let you know why we like this place. But so food's a tough category because a lot of people are foodies. They come to Vegas. There's literally endless number of choices. So we're gonna have people agree, disagree. Let's be just relax, okay? So relax. I know. Put your commentary in the commentary area, so we can ignore it or moderate it if necessary. All right. Here we go. All right, so here we go. Here's our votes for best and worst in a few basic categories, and we'll tell you why. So our best Italian place, strangely enough, is go ahead. Can they see it? Best Italian is Breeza at Resorts World. Place is absolutely fantastic. They have first of all, their menu makes sense. They're not so bougie that you read the menu and you wonder what the hell is going to come in your food. They also will customize. You're not so locked in. So like if you see a few things on there and you want to like mix and match, which I do, because I like kind of spaghetti and meatballs things. I like the bolognese sauce, and so they hook me up. I mean, easy. They pad the bill a little bit, but not so much. It's been nice. They have a vodka penne that Dennis absolutely loves. That in fact, not just Dennis, it's a spicy vodka penne.
No, it's a rigatoni.
Oh, rigatoni, my bad. Because, huge difference. Everyone's like, yeah, big difference. That's an ongoing debate, dude. Does the shape change the flavor?
It's a rigatoni, okay?
It's a rigatoni. All right. But anyway, so it's really fantastic. It has such a distinct flavor. They've just knocked it out of the park with that. And they have this bolognese that's great. The nice thing is they're not too overpriced, although, restaurants have gotten a little crazy with prices. Everything's gotten a little crazy. But we love this place. We've been there quite a bit. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's been fantastic. I forgot to put on here. I got to put on here. Oh, wait. Back one. Uh-oh. Can you go back one? Oh my God.
What happened?
I don't know. Oh, I didn't realize we're on the same. I'm such a boomer, dude. Ridiculous. I'm telling you to go back, but you have your own thing working. Anyways, all right. So ready? The worst Italian stay. I mean, years ago I would have said it was one of the best places to go, only because Sinatra band. They used to put the Italians in a limo and send them to this place. They used to have these wooden bowls, and you could order great pasta. It was cheap. It was just fantastic. Batista's hole in the wall behind Bally's, man, really, really has gone downhill. It's overpriced. I've eaten there several times because I keep taking people there thinking, the stories. I have so many stories in this place. You have no idea. I used to live literally right behind, in an area right behind that or close to that. It's been demolished now, and Batista's was an easy win. I mean, but every single time I take people there, they walk away and go, oof, it wasn't the best. So not a big fan. Their rating has gone downhill. I think they're still fairly well rated, to be honest, but not compared to everything else that's going on this trip. when it comes to Italian. By the way, lots of really good Italian places. Years ago, I went to Cipriani's, also another good Italian place. There's a few, like there's one that's Venetian, that is really highly rated for Italian. So there's a few places we have yet to go. But for us right now, Breeza is top of the list. All right, best Asian, without any doubt. Everyone that's ever been there agrees. Sadly, it's not Jasmine. I love Jasmine. Not everybody loves Jasmine. It's sort of around the world, Thai/Asian, which is at Bellagio, by the way. But Wingly at Wynn, again, is really fantastic. So it's a Michelin-starred restaurant, and it is really amazing. And it's amazing when they serve you these noodles that are literally so simple. Like they're just not buried. They're just a noodle. And you're like, at first you're like very skeptical. You're used to getting this, like, it's like a lo mein dish or a chow mein dish with like, you're used to getting like all the vegetables, all these other things to kind of season it, add flavor. And they literally just bring out a thing of noodles, and it's fantastic. I mean, you're right. I saw it, lowered the bar, and then holy crap, I couldn't believe it. Dennis has loved it so much he's taken his staff there. We've eaten there quite a bit.
It's really good. It's worth every cent.
It's a little pricey. It's definitely a little pricey, but the experience is fantastic. The dining room is great. By the way, they have these trees apparently that are like 1,000 years old. Is that what it is? They have this little viewing thing. It's quite something. It's a spectacular place. It's a really great experience you'll want. Now, the worst Asian is surprisingly, so surprisingly here. This is, oh God, wow. Do I sound, is my passive aggressive side coming out? We're highlighting it too. Yeah, I know. It's the Red Lotus at the Trop. So almost everything we've eaten there has really sucked at the Trop. We ate at Michael Irving's. Is that the lowest rated one too? Is that the one?
I didn't check for Michael Irving.
We had some chicken there. It was like the signature dish. It was absolutely sucked. He's a celebrity chef, man. They need to just listen. They need to get a bulldozer and run it through that place quick, and move on. But you know what? They may not be able to do it so quick because there's too many people inside, too many customers. They'll be like, "Excuse me, customers, can you move over so we can get this bulldozer in here?" That would make sense. You know what I'm saying? That's why they've had so many difficulties getting the place renovated. There's too many people mulling around. That's gonna go on forever. Just so you know, I'm gonna live with that forever. All right. Let's gonna get to the buffet. Oh my God, we gotta explain this one. You'd almost think that Wynn is paying us at this point. So let's move away from the Wynn real quick and just tell you that if you love food and you want a lot of different choices, the Lux Cafe at the Venetian's fantastic, because I'm going to give you the Venetian has a lot of different choices, but the Lux Cafe, oh my God, dude, everything is great. They have their own bakery. They make their own stuff in-house for the most part. And we have eaten, they have this massive menu, and you would think, the idea is, right, you have to focus on a few things so you can do a few things great, but oh my God, they do, right? Lux Cafe at the Venetian is really, really good. All right. But let's get to the best buffet. Okay, so there used to be some more choices in buffets. This list would have been filled out. As you know, Stacy Casinos have lost their buffet card. They have literally, but they have now moved in like Lotus segment. They have upgrading that whole area. We're very disappointed. We lost Station Buffets because they had some really good buffets. But, so here's the thing. Bacchanal is a great buffet, but it doesn't touch off. You pay a lot of money for a buffet, and so you go there with really high expectations, and then it's like, you know what I mean? Like we want to love the place. We have a friend of ours that works there and really does a great job for what she does, but it's like the rest of it is like hit or miss kind of thing, The one buffet consistently highly rated, really high quality food, not as many things. You don't have a mile of a buffet line to walk around. You don't have like endless choices, but of the things that they do, it's really, really good. And the atmosphere is one of a kind for a buffet room. Everything was handpicked by someone who shouldn't be named right now, just to be PC about it. I don't know. But it's quite something. That dining room is really fantastic. And when you sit there, again, you're going to be, it's something special. right? You're going to want to take a lot of pictures and post them to Instagram. Just take a picture of the damn chair. Before you sit in the chair, take a picture of the damn chair and take a picture. I should have put up pictures of this. It's really, as far as buffet goes, it's very nice. Everybody has plenty of room. You get a really nice table. But again, so the best buffet is the Wynn. Now, the worst buffet, I don't even think Tropicana has a buffet, so we didn't go there. But without a doubt, the Luxor is the worst buffet in town. I promise you, it's the worst buffet in town. You would, a lot of you are gonna say Circus, but here's the thing: if you really believe Circus, go eat at Circus. The new Circus buffet, it's been completely revamped, by the way, and I've heard relatively good things. You know, it's a little more expensive, and then go to Luxor, try it out, compare, and I think you'll find it's a really weird buffet. It's a whole the experience. It's like the Denny's of buffets, but it's not as good as Denny's. I'm not sure how to explain that. I've been there for all of the meals, by the way. It's just not very good. Okay, now we're gonna get to a really heated category. By the way, this is on the Strip. We're gonna go off the Strip. So for those of you looking to save some money, we got some picks from off the Strip. But this is on the Strip. And the one I before I forget, if you want great American food or you want breakfast, period, you got to go to Peppermill. Absolutely. I think our favorite pancakes, no? Without a doubt, the best. And everybody's so friendly. We even went to a room by accident and everybody was friendly. We went into this other area. It's where they have the bar. So they have a separate bar area with a big old fireside area that you guys can get around. It's a lot of fun, man. That's another place I got a lot of stories on Peppermill. Peppermill's been there forever. It's an institution. And it's an institution, and it's because it's a one-of-a-kind restaurant experience, and the food is it's fantastic, especially the breakfast food. I've only ever eaten breakfast food. I might stay away from the other stuff, but then they have this bar and lounge that's fantastic. So if you want to get off a little bit, oh God, did you see how I went there? You see how I went there with the get off? Okay. I know. I still wanna name that strategy. What's that? What's the name of the strategy? Never come on a craps table. That's the strategy, and they won't let me use that name. They want to bleep it out. Did you bleep it out? No. Okay, so we're gonna get to best steakhouse. Oh, there's gonna be some fighting. People got their mitts on, and if you say it's a Golden Steer, there's just no way in hell. I don't care who you are, what you're doing, or where you're at. It's just not the Golden Steer. You might remember the Golden Steer from 20, 30 years ago, but today's Golden Steer is not like yesterday's Golden Steer. So it just wasn't there. But our best steakhouse is literally the Steakhouse. If you're quite literally going for steak, the Steakhouse at Circus, without a doubt, the best steak. Now, if you add in all the side dishes, but if you're there for steak, holy crap, that Steakhouse is fantastic. And the other great thing is you pay one price and you kind of get the whole meal. It's like a combo meal. You don't have to a lot of steakhouses, you got 12 things, although you can order things on the side, but anyways, they have a combo price. But if you're going to go for steak and sides and you like your meat cut, I like my meat service, don't you? I like full service on my meat.
What is that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying.
I will say the Capitol Grill, really good.
The Capitol Grill, dude. It's they cut your meat. They have this filet mignon that's literally cut. They slice it up for you nice, dude. It's bites. You don't really need a fork. You don't need a knife. You just need the fork. And so here's the foofy story. We went to this high-level meeting, and they happened to have rented out. These people rented out the Capitol Grill. Can you imagine renting out the whole Capitol Grill for your event? But they did. And so me and Alex go there, and of course, it's the Capitol Grill, and it's a free buffet. So it took us a minute to get to the meeting because we were busy. You know what I mean? We were busy. We had to get our little tapas plates going. Alex gets a few tapas plates. You know what I'm saying? He has a little collection. Tapas doesn't do it for him. He just gets the big ass bowl and just starts lowering in there. Okay. So we go there, and they have this macaroni, and they have this mac and cheese, this lobster mac and cheese. Now, a lot of times I've been to lobster mac. They say it's lobster mac and cheese, but it's like lobster flavoring with like these little fishy things that may or may not be lobster. You know what I mean? You could probably send them in, and they can like analyze it. Maybe not so much lobster. And man, dude, big pieces of lobster. It was like lobster with mac and cheese. Not mac and cheese with lobster bits or something like this. It was literally big, fat pieces of lobster. It was so good. So I vowed to go back because at that point I had really never eaten there because I wasn't going to pay to eat there. It's not cheap. And you know what I mean? So we go back. Me and Dennis go there. In fact, I was going there because they had this less expensive cheeseburger. They have a cheeseburger. They serve their own damn cheeseburger midday. It's like the Gordon Ramsay burger. And I was going to take advantage of that special and then maybe have macaroni and cheese and the lobster. But, you know, I didn't see myself buying steak, you know, because I'm really not the biggest steak eater and steak's expensive, right? So we go there, and of course, we're like the wrong day or the wrong hour for the cheeseburger. We're stuck eating the steak. So we went all in on the steak, and it was really absolutely worth it. It was absolutely fantastic. All right, so if you have a chance, Capital Grille, I know it's kind of a chain, a chain thing. There's a few of them, but man, the Capital Grille out here is really fantastic. But, okay, the worst experience we've had, not only just the food experience, but also the service experience, was quite literally Delmonico. And I'm not sure if, first of all, they sat us in the kiddie section. I mean, this little mini table attached to this door, and they kept sliding the door going into this other area where like VIPs were, and we're like this little 2-person stranded table. Then they brought us bread that it's this special, I don't know, you guys, if you've eaten at a lot of foofy restaurants, they bring out this like that egg bread that they serve hot. It can only be served hot because the egg gets hard, like the pastry gets hard after a while, and it just tastes very different. But I don't know, so those of you out there that are like chefs, you know what I'm talking about. It's like this roll, it's really eggy on the inside, and they serve it warm so it's soft, then it gets hard. And so, of course, they serve this to us, and I see it's like a brick, dude. It's like a brick, and I'm like, oh my God, I've eaten this bread before, and I know that it's not supposed to be served this way. And I tell the waiter, and of course, and he's like indignant about it, but he finally takes it back. He brings us some new bread, and of course, now the bread is the way it's supposed to be. But throughout the whole experience, our server was like, I don't know whether they thought maybe we came in like sweatpants or something. I mean, we came nice, no?
Yeah,
Didn't we look like we could almost afford to eat there?
Like we can almost afford to eat
I'm just saying, we didn't. It's not like we were in like
we were well dressed
sweatsuits, and you know what I'm saying. Like we came in proper attire. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, the food was terrible. There was one thing that we loved, this appetizer, right? There was one thing that was really good, the appetizer. But
yeah, it was bacon and bone, something like this.
So if you're there for the bacon and bone, do that. But anyways, steak was terrible. It was the Delmonico Steakhouse, quite literally at the Venetian. And it wasn't good. It was really expensive too, so I was just doubly frustrated because there's a point where it should be, if you pay enough, it should be at least mediocre. You know what I mean? If it falls below mediocre, it shouldn't almost doesn't exist as a restaurant. And I realize like sometimes it's an off day or the pudding's a little stale. You know what I mean? I realize that things happen. But when you pay that much, not a whole lot should happen. It should be, okay, I got one or two things maybe weren't top on the list, but for the most part, the meal should be above average, right? And especially when it's led by a celebrity chef. That was why I was so excited to go here. Maybe I set the bar just too high for myself because, I had never been to a Emeril Lagasse restaurant, which that is, And so that was a big, okay. The other one that's is overrated, and this is what Alex gave me, was the STK restaurant. It's expensive and not as good as the Steakhouse, from what I understand. But I'm gonna move. I've never eaten there, so I don't know. It's at the Cosmo, right? It's way too expensive for me. So places that just charge outrageous sums of money just because they can, where the experience isn't, I mean, the Wagyu beef thing, I just can't wrap my head around $250 for a bite size. I don't know where that goes. I'm sure it's very good, but is it that good? Am I gonna need new shorts? Am I gonna eat into this piece of beef and just wonder why my shorts are sticky? You know what I'm saying? Because if that doesn't happen, I'm just gonna go get a massage. You know what I'm saying?
That's a weird bar to have. That's like
that's the only bar. $250 for just the meat, dude. Just the meat. I got meat. Why am I paying for that? You know what I'm saying? I could pay less for my own meat Anyways, all right. Okay, we're gonna go close to the Strip. So close to the Strip, Uber right away. Save yourself a little money. Maybe have a better experience. And here's the thing: for Italian food, we love Ferraro's. However, now it's always better. It's always good, and sometimes it's great. I don't know what the hell's going on back there in the kitchen, but I think every now and then they got the right Guido or whoever they got working back there. Everything just clicks. But if you go on a off Thursday, I don't know, and not even Thursday, but there's a few times where we haven't had exactly the same experience, but we have had some really tremendous experience. For a while there, it was our favorite cheesecake. It was our favorite Italian pasta.
Until they messed up the cheesecake.
And then somehow the cheesecake went south. I'm not sure. Maybe they stopped making. I don't know what the hell happened, but we were literally in pursuit of the best cheesecake in town. And Ferraro's really checked off that box. Now it's some pizza restaurant that has cheesecake bites on the west side. You know what I mean? Now it's
actually Capitol Grill has great cheesecake.
Oh yeah, Capitol Grill. That's true. Holy crap, they have everything is really good at Capitol Grill. I gotta tell you, it's so worth it. Plus the views are fantastic. I mean, by the way, if you go there, make sure to get a table. Avoid the booths, but get a table. But the booths are set back a little bit. It's still nice. You can look out. It's beautiful. Go at night. Because during the day, they have some of the blinds down there. Go at night when they have the shades all the way up, and then sit on the side, right there by the window. It's just absolutely beautiful. We get some great pictures. You have a wonderful dinner. It's almost like being top of the world at Strat. Top of the world at Strat. If you come to Vegas, a lot or not a lot, and another place we almost put that on the list. Top of the world. Top of the world. It's at the very top of the Strat. It spins around. Does one rotation about every hour, 30 minutes, something like this. But the food's always fantastic. Sometimes not the best food, so their menu changes. There are things that come in and out. But the last experience we had was great. I mean, absolutely top notch. An experience that we had a couple times past. It was like good, maybe bordering on great. But the view and the experience up there makes up for any. It's
that's
really
true.
right?
If you're going top of the world, you have to go there for the view, not
view.
for the food. The food will be at least okay or good, but most of the time it's just to sit there and have the whole place rotate slowly as you see all of Vegas.
Yeah. No, 100%. Now just throw a Taco Bell up there and it's just perfect. Absolutely perfect. See that? I knew that. I know how to get a reaction. I got all his buttons all lined up, dude. It's like they're all in a row, dude.
Well, we have a super chat.
Ooh, thank you.
LB DJing gave us $5. So
hi, LB.
See you guys this weekend. Question:
Oh,
if I bunch a bunch of crap at CQ, can you ship it to me from the store?
Buy all the crap you want. Just don't buy the cups. The cups we don't ship, but everything else pretty much.
It depends on what you buy. If you buy a lot of glass, we're not shipping that back.
Yeah, we don't ship the glass either. That hasn't worked out. In fact, we desperately tried to ship we'll ship out the empty chip containers, but not with chips in it, and we won't ship out a bird cage with chips in it because we tried that, and it's really tough. I mean, listen, these shipping companies have given up. I mean, those of you, I'm guessing 90% of the population that deals with these shipping companies gets a lot of things shipped to them. You know exactly what I mean. It's absurd. Depending on where you're at, there's one shipping company that can't reach the front door. Another shipping company, you see Fragile. I saw this UPS guy with a Fragile sign just tossing stuff, into the back. But it's just crazy. All right. So off the Strip, we're going off the Strip. Ferraro's first for Italian. And all right, now we're gonna get to the best Asian. So the best Asian is, in our opinion, so there's two of them. These are Alex's favorite, but the second one is my favorite. It's the Shang noodle, and then Asian barbecue noodle, cash only. Don't bring your credit card. And listen, they can be a little pointy over there. So they like to point and they like to lay it down. But the food is fantastic, and if you don't like seeing the ducks and the chickens hanging on a string, that was at first. I mean, I didn't grow up with that, so and they're like, listen, do you want this chicken right here? And they're like, we just whacked this one right here. It's right here. We were at a restaurant the other day. This lady brought out a bucket with this living thing, and was like, this is how fresh this is. I mean, literally, remember that?
Yeah.
Had the bucket. This Asian couple came in. They wanted to know how fresh it was, and she's like, "I got you fresh right here, dude. Literally a bucket full of water and whatever the hell was in there." That's not how I pick my food.
So
I don't want to name it.
I have been a Shank beef noodle.
Oh,
It's really good.
you like it?
You have to go.
The pulled noodle.
The pulled
It's
noodle.
got really long pulled noodle, right? Is that where Jet gets his long?
By the way, this is from Jet.
Jet.
Jet actually loves Shank beef noodle.
Who is Chinese?
Who's Chinese because it reminds him of home.
That's big. That's big. You know what reminds me of home? Mashed potatoes. I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say pancakes.
I mean, anything that'll fatten you up quick reminds me of home. We don't have a lot of hanging chickens though. The chickens that we have been put out of their misery weeks earlier. They're not like, hunted down in the back of the place and just sort of thrown in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Anyways, move on to the next one.
But that Asian barbecue noodle is fantastic. So we go there. The food's fantastic, and the waiters and the waitresses they just lock it down. They're like, dude, you done? Are you done? Are you done here? We need this table. They want you to go in there. You got to pay with cash and get the hell out. Eat and get the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Literally. All right. So here we go. Best buffet, South Point buffet. And I will always say that it's South Point is a Michael Gaughan property. And every Veterans Day, it's a free buffet for vets. It's really great food. They make everything there, and a lot of locals love it. People pile on. That place is just hugely successful, and rightfully so, sir. So thank you so much. And it's and not only on Veterans Day, they don't just give you a coupon. It's not just 10% off. It's free for you and your other. Okay, free for you and your other. You know what I'm saying? It's fantastic.
Free plus one.
Free plus one. You know what I mean? I mean, holy smokes. But anyways, it's a really great buffet. If you haven't been to South Point, my only real take back on South Point as a casino is they've had a lot of success, so not a lot of penny machines, not a lot of nickel machines there. You got to come with some cash because, limits are higher. Great dealers, by the way. They got some great people, a great place to go. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. We got 2 great steakhouses. And then I got our favorite at the end because I think some people are missing out here. But the #1 rated steakhouse in all of Las Vegas on TripAdvisor and amongst like a whole bunch of rating or review pages is Primal at the Boulevard Mall. All right, so avoid the mall. Luckily, you don't have to go into the mall because if you go into the mall, you got to kind of have to have a whole different experience, maybe a little bulletproofing, a knife, you know what I'm saying? But Primal, fantastic. They have an entrance right there on the outside. Park and go. It's a really good food, and it's not as expensive as being on the Strip. Now, our results have been a little mixed, but the food's great. I just don't like sitting at the curtain and having the curtain come and hit me in the head every time the person's gonna go. Yeah, I thought that was a weird place to be sitting, but food's fantastic. The other one that Alex likes used to be a Ruth's Chris, which I used to love, to be honest with you. Of course, David loving the chain foods. But the Cleaver is now where Ruth Chris was on Paradise. It's very close. It's quite literally behind the Wynn's golf course on Paradise. It's almost within walking distance. So if you're playing golf, you can head over to Cleaver. It's also attached at Howard Hughes Parkway area, and you can go there. Now, the greatest thing about both of these places is very often you don't need reservations. So if you're having trouble eating somewhere else and last minute you need somewhere to go, call them because they typically have room for seating. So they're not always so packed, and the food's great. I mean, they're really, really, really good destination. All right, I added a special off the Strip, Shaq's Big Chicken. It is really the best chicken sandwiches in town. I mean, Shaq literally hit it out of the park. They have a spicy. We just went to a place today that offered a hot and spicy or a spicy chicken. Not so much, dude. Compared to Shaq has literally set the bar, dude. Big Chicken is the bar now. I mean, for hot and spicy chicken sandwiches. We've run into a few other really good chicken sandwiches, like the one that's up on Sahara. That's not bad. What's that guy's name? Fred? What's his name? Fred. It's not Fred, by the way. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
What was the question?
That hot, that chicken sandwich. It looks like it's so hot. It's like red. The one on West Sahara that's all the way up there. The spicy chicken. Dave, not Fred. Dave. You would think I would remember Dave. Like, you would think that would be a name I would have down. Holy crap, I forgot my own name. What the hell's going on? So that chicken sandwich is good, but it looks better than it is, I think. And then the time between ordering and eating can be a little bit funky. You know what I mean? I would say don't go in the drive-through because you may get stuck. But Shaq's Chicken is big chicken. It's right there by Ferraro's, actually. It's fantastic. I mean, we've always loved it. They have this limeade thing machine. It's really fantastic. Or this, right, seltzer bar. I don't know.
It's cream sodas.
Cream soda dispenser. I'm not a big fan. Not the cream soda. But the chicken sandwich is fantastic. But they all like it. Your kids love it, dude. They love it. That stuff gives me gas, but the kids love it. All right.
What doesn't give you gas?
I mean, literally sitting here gives you looking at me, rolling your eyes at me makes me gassy, okay? Just so you know.
Oh my God.
So stop doing that. I'll be less gassy, all right? Lauren coming in the middle of my podcast makes me, hi, Lauren! Dennis. And she called me. See, that's the boomer we're talking about. But see, I was in the middle of mid-thought. I don't like to get distracted. All right, ready? Now we're going to go around something else. You know what's really cool about Vegas is they now have... And apparently, yeah, on Sundays, Chick-fil-A is closed. So avoid Chick-fil-A. All right. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of really good theaters here in town. And I mean movie theaters. So if you have nothing else to do, if you lost all your money and you're on your last $20 bill, oh my God, we have there's a live super chat. Fantastic. Super chat. There we go. That's Alan Toy gave us $10 for the super chat.
So when do we expect it game?
What kind of game?
The bird game for craps.
His question is, when can we expect the bird game for craps? I'll give you a bird right now. We'll call it a day. One more $10 bill. No. Can I finish my theater point here? I gotta stay focused, dude. This is important stuff we got going on. All right. So here's the thing. You want to know who really hit it out of the park? If you guys are looking to go off strip, get lower limit tables, lower limit machines, all new machines, by the way, really all the new IPs. So all the new IP is an intellectual property. So all the new games everybody loves, all the new Buffaloes, all the new Keno, all the new Palace Station. Palace Station is really become a fantastic destination for bingo, right, movie theaters, food. They have a steakhouse in there too. That's great. It didn't make the list, but it's still fantastic. It's affordable. And getting stuck at Palace Station is not a bad thing. They have a lot of really great tables. They have really fantastic dealers. They have arguably the smartest casino manager on the planet. Quite literally, I swear to God. And that's not just me saying it. That's my mother saying it. No, my mother knows nothing. I don't know why I said that. But he's literally one of the smartest. It's a really fantastic place to play. I love there are 2 casinos now that I frequent, or let's say 3. They're all station casinos outside of Dottie's. So I go to Green Valley a lot. I go to Palace, and we head up to Santa Fe. Santa Fe is literally right on the way to my house. I tried going to Aliante last night, man. God, that place needs a little vacuuming. I don't know. Holy crap. Okay, well, anyways, so they got to see this picture of this movie theater. Do you remember when I went to movie theaters as a kid? And the sticky feet and the throw. I mean, listen. I mean, there's no reach arounds in this theater. That'd be really hard to do right here. You know what I'm saying? So maybe if you're going to the theater to get a snack, if your snack is not food and it's your date, then maybe that's not a thing because you're gonna have a few obstacles to crawl over. But man, look at that! Are you kidding me? That's a movie theater. It's a really great movie theater, by the way. So no one kicks your chair. You got plenty of leg room. They have waiters and waitresses. They will bring your ass food, like real food. It's if you guys have had the experience at Galaxy Theater, this is literally that. It's not a Galaxy Theater, but it's a premium theater. It's absolutely. Look at the chairs, dude. I mean, look at this. You could fall asleep like nobody's business. I mean, if I can go to any of the movies that Dennis likes, I could just nap it out right here. This is nap time central right here. I could eat my pasta and go to sleep and wake up fully rejuvenated and just nod my head at all the excitement, and no one would know. But it's really a fantastic. Palace Station, that theater is quite literally. Okay. The next theater, believe it or not, the Galaxy Theaters have absolutely made it a go. So I will go there. All right. We're getting to the end of this. I mean, theaters is kind of a weird category, but Vegas for the longest time really didn't have a go. at theaters. Amazingly, I don't know if anybody remembers. Any of you older people remember they used to have the Cinedomes here in Vegas. We had our own Cinedome theaters, and they were where the Smiths is on DI and Decatur. And then that was all converted, and they took those out. But for a while there, that was our premium theater destination. And then, of course, we got some better screens slowly. Vegas seemed to, for the longest time, got everything kind of last. Like we had a plethora of dollar theaters. That seemed to be the easy win. People were too busy gambling, apparently. No one wanted to go to a theater. And then, of course, they built Showcase on the Strip. So, by the way, there is a movie theater, actual just movie theater on the Strip called at the Showcase Mall. It's behind, it's attached sort of to the MGM by the Showcase. They used to have their own little garage going up there. I don't know how that's evolved. I haven't heard much about it, to be honest with you. But anyways, all right. So as far as I have a few other side amenities. If you got kids, young kids, just park it at Circus, dude. There's nothing else like it on the Strip. No one else is gonna accommodate you. That place is used to the kids. Kids. If you go in there, you can see a lot of kids. If you want to share, you feel like if pea's your thing, they got a great pool. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? They have the Cinedome there. It's a great experience for families. It really is. Rooms are cheaper because, kids. They got the acrobats. They got a whole bunch. They got an big ass arcade. And so anyways, if you have kids, just park it and go. They even have an RV park. I would not recommend that RV park, to be honest with you. The ratings are terrible. My family used to be a little bit RVs. If you have a Class A, we were asked about a Class A amenity. So there's not a lot of resorts that let you really park the Class A or really allow for lots of parking for those of you and sort of, have your, RV, towing your car, towing your camper, So the parking is kind of at a premium. Used to be the Rio was a great place. Even Mandalay Bay had some parking. And a lot of people end up in the Wild Wild West because they had parking. The best, without a doubt, the best RV park in Las Vegas is the Oasis. So regardless of what you have, if you're interested and you have a camper, you have any Class C, Class A, whatever the case is, really is. And just as far as overall value, rates, the location's fantastic. It's right near the Silverton, really. So, you have that. It's by Blue Diamond. It's real easy access to the highway. So if you're like my parents who really don't like to drive the RV, you know what I mean? They don't want to be rolling around in the city and going under. It's right off of the highway, really easy access. So stick to that. Vegas now has some really super premium Class A RV parks, and you got to pay. And by the way, they are worth every cent. I had the good fortune of staying in one. And let me tell you, wow, I didn't even know parks could be that great. In fact, there's one here in town. You got to look it up. I'm not going to do their research, but where it's like a timeshare. You can actually sort of buy your space in weeks so that you have it saved for you every year. If you're someone who comes out to Vegas, it's only Class A, and you pull in, and it has the whole build out with the TV, and you encapsulate a whole nother room. It's really kind of otherworldly when it comes to that. All right. The last wonderful amenity we have in Vegas is quite literally God's waiting room. So we have a casino, and we love this casino. Just so you know, we've sent a lot of dealers there. We actually do love this casino, but there you go, buddy. There is God's waiting room. So I will fill you in on a little story. A friend of mine used to work at they had this little a beauty shop. And this beauty shop was owned by a friend of mine. And, they would always talk about the average age of people because they needed a special type of hairdresser, someone who could work with, sensitive skin and sensitive hair, because the average age was 60, 65, I don't know, something like this. So one day I dropped up my friend who worked there, and I'm sitting in this little lounge. I'm thinking about going to the movie theater. And of course, this movie theater has, a 50-plus day. If you're over 50, you get the movie for like $2. And I'm sitting there and I'm having a drink, and they have this lounge area that's a little bit elevated, and then there's this hallway with this white light. And I'm looking at this white light. They have this one hallway that's sort of going out, and it's got a big bright white light, and you can't see anything at the other end of this hallway, just this flipping light. And I'm looking at all the all. I mean, I realize at this point I'm like in my late 40s. I'm the youngest person I could see anywhere around me. I'm the youngest person, and I realize I have found God's waiting room. And here I was, literally at. I could have chosen to follow the white light and been on my way. It's quite something. Well, this is the bingo room at the Suncoast Hotel and Casino. And yeah, it smells a little like colostomy bag. No, I shouldn't say that. That's terrible. That's terrible, Dennis, for me to put that out there. Anyways, they used to have a really good pancake place there, by the way. So I would end up out there. I think they still might have it. It's a really high-end pancake place. It doesn't compare to Peppermill, but it was actually really, really good. I love the machines there, and I love the fact that if I have to race to get anywhere, I will beat every other person in that casino. Literally, I will be the first one to the chair. You had to be very careful in the parking lot. You know what I mean? Drive very slowly. You don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, that's definitely God's waiting room. We joke about that. We actually love that casino, to be honest with you. It's a nice property. It's employed a lot of dealers. The people in that area toke well, and yes, it does skew a little older, and you get a lot of discounts for being older, and you don't need all your teeth to eat there. They mostly have restaurants that are friendly for those of us who didn't have many teeth. But there you go. All right, so what do you guys think? Are there any feedbacks, any commentary? Oh my God, I think Dennis is just napping out over here.
No, we have a $5 super chat.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's from Von Lark, I believe.
Okay.
He said, "Thank you, David and Dennis. I appreciate you guys."
Thank you very much. Oh, we got to give away a hat. Do we have? Where are we at? Anybody like us?
We got a 47 likes.
That's it. Oh man, we got to wait a second. All right, we got to get to 100. We got this hat. We gave out the other hat last week, so we have this hat this week. And what do you think? Are they pounding away? Everybody was so enraptured by the commentary. You see, this is what happened. They got distracted. Either that or just hitting the wrong button. They moved over. They hit the wrong button, dude.
Well, you can use your last point as people like away.
Oh, really? I have another slide?
Yeah, one more slide.
Ah! I do have another slide. Wow. So, so there's a lot of shopping, as you know, and there's a lot of really high-end shopping. And for those of us who like, a little more budgety, strangely, we're in fashion show, and we're a little biased, obviously. But I will tell you this, there's a lot of anchors here, a lot of anchor stores. We got Dillard's, Nordstrom's, Dick's Sporting Goods, Macy's Men's. Oh, my God, I almost named them all. I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? Neiman Marcus and Neiman Marcus. So we have a lot.
Saks Fifth Avenue.
Saks Fifth. So we have a lot of really big popular stores. And here's the thing: if you're coming to Vegas and you end up going to a lot of these malls, a lot of these shopping areas are very expensive. You know what I mean? They're paying a lot of rent and prices are high. But here at Fashion Show, you can actually find some really good sales like you would any local area. I mean, it's because it's all stores. It's the stores that have to generate the traffic and the money. Nobody's winning $1 million in the casino floor and coming over to buy a Ferrari. You know what I mean? Although we do have Tiffany's, there's a few high-end shops here. We have that I don't know how the hell to pronounce it. Crystal Schwarzsky. That doesn't sound right. Anyways, whatever the crystal, the guy that has all the crystals and Aria, stuff like this, he has a store here. But there's a few of those. But for the most part, if you're really looking to just stop, chill out, have some sort of casual, there's also a food court that's very affordable. So if you're just trying to get away from all the expensive crap. Now, I personally love walking around Crystals, the Crystal Shopping Center that's at Aria City Center. I can't afford a single thing in there. So I go in there and I get the, they don't have a frozen yogurt place. They have, what's that? The gelato. They have like the super expensive gelato place there. I can afford some of that. And then I just walk around and just check out all the $10,000 belts and the one store that has literally like one watch in the middle of the store, these kinds of things. Because it's fantastic to browse that stuff and see. And I mean, it all looks really cool.